Hey, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something we all use every single day, water. But we're going to look at it through a lens you might not have considered before, as a subject with deep, spiritual, and ethical weight in the Islamic tradition. Okay, let's get right into it.
So let's kick things off with this incredibly powerful verse from the Qur'an. And this isn't just some nice poetry, it's a foundational idea. It puts water right at the heart of creation and asks this huge question that echoes through the entire tradition. So just how central is it? I mean, really? Well, get this. Water is mentioned over 60 times in the Qur'an. 60. So in our first section, let's break down exactly why it's seen as the source of, well, everything.
So from this perspective, we're not just talking about H2O. It's so much more than something that just comes out of the tap. It's viewed as a sacred resource, packed with spiritual meaning. It means every single interaction with it is a chance to connect with something much, much bigger.
Okay, so let's build on that a little bit, because the Qur'an consistently comes back to this idea that water is a direct, tangible sign of God's mercy and incredible creative power. You can literally see it and feel it.
And what I find so interesting here is the word blessed. It's not just a nice adjective, it directly connects the rain from the sky to this concept of barakah, which you can think of as a spiritual blessing, a goodness that makes everything on earth flourish.
Classical scholars like Ibn Kathir really expanded on this. Think about it. Just like water physically brings a dry, parched piece of land back to life, it's also a powerful symbol for spiritual renewal. It's a sign that mercy is always possible. And this verse, it highlights a really cool dual role. See, water isn't just for drinking, it's for purification too. This verse connects the coming of rain, calling the winds good tidings, to both mercy and the means for us to become clean, physically and spiritually. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that the entire water cycle, rain, rivers, oceans, the whole shebang, is seen as part of this perfect, balanced, interconnected system. It's not random. It's a sign of a meticulous and merciful divine design in action.
Okay, so we've talked about the big theological ideas. But how does all this profound respect for water actually translate into everyday life? For that, we've got to turn to the example of the Prophet Muhammad.
This teaching it's just so striking. Think about it. The instruction is to conserve water during wudu, the ritual washing, even if you are right next to a giant flowing river. The message couldn't be clearer. Conservation is not about scarcity. It's an ethical rule, period.
This just reframes the whole act, doesn't it? Suddenly, saving water isn't just about your utility bill. It's a form of mindfulness, a spiritual discipline. It's about practicing moderation and gratitude on the inside, no matter what you have on the outside.
And then there's this. This teaching lays down another huge principle: communal rights. Water isn't a private commodity that you can just hoard. It's a shared resource, a right for everyone in the community. Right up there with the other essentials for survival.
And hey, this wasn't just talk. There's a concrete historical example of this in action. A companion of the Prophet, Uthman ibn Affan, bought a well, the well of Ruma, and then dedicated it for public use. The Prophet's praise for that act basically cemented the ideal of ensuring everyone has access to this vital resource.
So if we pull all this together, the theology, the ethical teachings, we can actually distill it down into 4 core principles of stewardship that guide how we should use water.
So you've got these 4 pillars. Avoid waste, make sure everyone has access, keep it pure, and use it in a balanced way that considers all life, not just humans. Now that first principle, avoiding waste, is built on a really important concept in Islamic ethics.
And that concept is called israf. It's a key term, and it doesn't just mean being inefficient. It means going overboard, exceeding proper limits in any kind of consumption. So wasting water is seen as spiritually damaging, like you're failing to recognize the value of a divine gift.
And the overarching idea that ties all this together is amana, which means trust. The relationship between humanity and the natural world, including water, is framed as a sacred trust. It's like we've been handed the keys. We're not owners, we're caretakers, and it's our job to look after it and share it fairly.
Which brings us to our final section. Now that we've explored all these ideas, the tradition invites us to turn inward and really reflect on our own actions. This is where it gets personal.
The first question is a practical one. It's asking us to pay attention to our daily habits. When you're brushing your teeth, washing the dishes, doing your ritual ablutions. Are you actually being mindful, or are you just on autopilot?
And this second question, well, it pushes us even deeper. It's a challenge, really.
It asks us to shift our entire perspective, to start seeing the water that flows from our taps not just as a commodity we pay for, but as this profound blessing that connects us to the entire web of life.
Ultimately, the takeaway is this. In this worldview, every single drop of water carries immense significance. It's both a sign of divine mercy and a constant, quiet call for us to live up to our responsibility as stewards. And that's a powerful thought to reflect on, long after this explainer is over.